Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Vinpearl Landmark Hotel in Ho Chi Minh City, or as it's otherwise known, Saigon, which, at the time of making this video, is Southeast Asia's tallest hotel. Occupying floors 47 through 71 of the Landmark 81 building, the Vinpearl Landmark Hotel offers breathtaking views out onto Ho Chi Minh City. I stayed in a panoramic suite during March 2025, and I'm going to run you through the hotel, the breakfast, the facilities, and give my overall review of the hotel. If you enjoy the video, please subscribe. The hotel is reasonably new, having only opened in September 2022. It is situated in the Landmark 81 building, which is the tallest building in Vietnam and the 17th tallest building in the world. I took this footage from a plane arriving into Ho Chi Minh. As you can see, it absolutely dominates the skyline, being way taller than all the other buildings surrounding it. When the Park Hyatt Kuala Lumpur opens up later in the year, it will lose its title as Southeast Asia's tallest hotel, but for now, it has it. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the hotel occupies floors 47 through 71, so you first have to go up to floor 47, where the lobby is situated, to check in. The lobby is beautifully decorated with double-height ceilings and floor-to-ceiling windows surrounding it. When I was done in check-in, I headed into the elevator to go up to floor 62, where my room was situated. I loved how the elevators had a little icon of a hotel in lights on the wall. Very well done. My room today was room 6203, which, as you can see here, is a ridiculously short walk from the elevators. Luckily, you don't hear a sound in the room. My room was a panoramic suite, which I used one of Marriott's Suite Upgrade Award nights to confirm. Let's go check it out. You walk through the door and come into a little lobby area. Just to the right is a guest toilet. This was nicely laid out and designed, and I will note the toilet is not a Japanese toilet with the self-cleaning features. But that's okay, you can't have it in every hotel. Despite being a guest toilet, it was actually done to a really nice level and had a sink and the usual toiletries provided. As you go further into the room, you see there's a sort of living area. This is entirely separate from the bedroom and is a great place to relax in the room. It comes with a couch, a table, a separate chair, and some really nice decorations on the wall. So far, so good. I was really impressed with the standard of this room. You can tell that the hotel is very new. There were no scuff marks or scratches anywhere. And that makes sense. The hotel's barely been open for 2 years. What struck me instantly was the views. We're 62 stories up here, and you have absolutely incredible views looking down onto the Saigon River. Can you see that little green circle on the bottom left? It looks tiny from up here, but that's actually a massive park. In this room was a very decently sized working desk. You were given some writing materials, a phone, and also a clock that had a wireless charger on top. That's really handy just to chuck your phone on it and have it charge while you work. In addition, some stationery was provided, including branded envelopes and writing paper. I always love it when hotels provide these. It's so nice to be able to have a little souvenir from your stay and send a personalised letter back home, kind of like the modern day version of a postcard. What I also really liked is that the hotel has gone to the effort to produce a sort of internal fake newspaper that tells you all about the hotel, where you can eat, where the facilities are. It's a very nice touch, instead of having just a booklet to describe it. Tucked away near the entrance of the sitting room is the minibar area, as well as the coffee and tea facilities. Credit to the hotel for doing something different here. They really did a very tasteful design. Included here were various coffee and teas, including Nespresso pods, although I will note only 2 Nespresso pods were provided that were not decaf. They also had some instant Vietnamese coffee, which was very tasty too. The only criticism I have here is that there were only 2 caffeinated pods available. The Reverie, which I stayed in previously, and which is linked at the end of this video, provided 5 by way of a comparison. Under the coffee area was the minibar. This contained a wide selection of soft drinks, beers, snacks, and spirits, as well as 2 bottles of water, although the water wasn't really necessary as they provided ample complimentary water in the room. One thing you should note, this minibar is not free. And actually, when I check for prices, that's an understatement. These prices would be expensive by Western standards, but by Vietnamese, they're downright extortionate. 300,000 dong for a miniature of vodka? The same day, I went to an all-you-can-eat Korean buffet. It cost me half of what a miniature in this minibar costs. 300,000 can get you a decent 2-hour massage in this country. This is crazy. Do not pay these prices. Anyway, moving on now, it's time to check out the main event, the bedroom. On the way to the bedroom, there are several closets that contain bathrobes, hangers, a mini-safe, an iron and an ironing board, as well as some of the comfiest slippers I've ever tried in a hotel. Seriously, the photos don't do justice to how comfy these were. Credit to the hotel for splurging on these. Looking along at the other cupboards, there was also even more storage space and extra hangers provided for you to hang your clothing. Certainly, you would not run out of space in this room. But anyway, this is what we came here for. The bedroom. And oh my God, it's absolutely stunning. The views here, looking out onto the Saigon River and the city below, could not be more perfect. With floor-to-ceiling windows, panoramically wrapping around the room, you get amazing views from the bed here. This is one of the highest hotel rooms in the tallest hotel in Southeast Asia, and I can say the views did not disappoint. It's incredible to see as you look around how no other building in the region comes even close to topping this building. Those buildings we're looking down on are probably about 30 stories themselves, but they look tiny by comparison. One thing I loved about this room was that in the corner they put a lounge chair with footrest for you to gaze out through the panoramic windows. Sitting here in the morning drinking a cup of coffee was a really nice experience. The bed was a large king-size bed and was incredibly comfortable, and the housekeeping did a wonderful job ironing the bed sheets. As we can see here, there were very few crinkles in this, making them very soft to touch. Not just the bed, the pillows were also soft and fluffy, and I think they provided 5, which is good because they did compress quite a lot. Next to the bed, on each side, was a universal power socket, as well as 2 USB-A style chargers, so you'd have no trouble charging your devices overnight. Everything in this room reflects how new it is. Looking at the headboard, there's no scuffs or marks or anything. This hotel is only 2 years old, and it shows. The room featured a television, which frankly was a perfect size for the size of a room, and you could watch it easily on your bed. And yes, it's a smart television, so you can cast your iPad or phone to it if you want to. One thing I loved in this room is how everything was controlled by this electronic touchscreen by the side of a bed. The blinds, the air conditioning, the lighting, everything could be controlled here with just a simple touch. This made it very easy to do things like close the blinds, or when you're ready for bed, to switch everything off. Very high-tech and very much appreciated. I wish more hotels would put something like this in their rooms. That's about all there is to say about the bedroom. Let's go check out the bathroom. This was a very decently sized room with plenty of space. It had a toilet, which, like the guest toilet, was not a Japanese toilet with the cleaning features, as well as a shower that featured both a detachable shower head and a rain shower. This was huge. You'd have no shortage of space here. The toiletries were by a brand called Seaweed Therapy, which I'd never heard of, but they were quite good. I wonder if they're Marriott's own brand. If you don't fancy a shower, there is a lovely soaking bathtub that has views looking out onto the river. Again, this is an oversized tub, so you'd have no shortage of space. Surprisingly, there was only a single sink in this room, as I was somewhat expecting to have his and hers sinks, but that's not a huge problem. Ample toiletries were provided, including dental kits, comb, sanitary kits, sewing kits, shower caps, shavers, mouthwash, anything you could reasonably need. By the side of the bed was this desk for you to do your work, and, if you want to get ready in the morning, contains a personal mirror to adjust your makeup. Whilst I was filming, I was interrupted by a welcome amenity being delivered. This consisted of a number of biscuits and cookies, including a macaron, and 2 branded coconuts. The coconuts were served ice cold, and one thing I loved is how they had purposefully put a tab on them, making it super easy to open them when the time was needed. Again, this is something I wish more hotels in Southeast Asia would offer. Coconuts are plentiful here, and having chilled ones delivered to your room really hit the spot. Somewhat annoyingly, after I'd already finished filming the earlier segments, the sky and the view got a lot better, and it seemed like the clouds and the rain disappeared. So I just thought I'd take this video here to show you what the room can look like at its absolute best. I really wish I had a better camera, because I don't think this one does justice to just how nice the view was. I think it's because it was getting later in the day and sunset was approaching, but I'm just breathless looking at this. Really, really incredible. And by the way, if you think the views look good by day, they also look amazing by night. This is what it looked like with all the lights off. You can see the neon of the streets below lighting up the skyline. I kept my curtains wide open until it was just about time to go to sleep, because I wanted to take in as much of this view as I can. Again, I'm sure the camera doesn't do it justice, but this is breathtaking. Time to go to sleep. I woke up the next morning having had one of the best sleeps in a long time, and the first thing I did was open those curtains to take in the view again. What an amazing way to wake up. First things first, let's grab a cup of coffee. As you can see here, the Nespresso machine is super easy to use. Put a pod in, push a button, and out comes that delicious coffee. Sometimes, it's the simplest things about a room that can make it for you. And sitting on this chair with my cup of coffee in the morning, taking in those views, was one of my favourite parts of my stay. Having had my coffee, and having gotten ready, let's go check out breakfast. Breakfast is served at the Oriental Pearl restaurant on the 66th floor, and consists of a mixture of buffet items and items you can order from the various stations. Naturally, being on the 66th floor, the views were incredible. If I could get my camera to focus, that is. I started with some truffled scrambled eggs. These were ordered from a made-to-order section, so they were freshly produced. I also got a Vietnamese coffee and a juice, guava juice I believe. That's the view with my camera in focus this time. Heading up to the buffet, I saw some of the most beautiful pastries I've ever encountered. Seriously, whoever made these is really skilled. Next, I went to one of the other order stations and got a bowl of beef pho. This was delicious. Light, fragrant, refreshing, and with just the right kick from those chilies. In an effort to be healthy, or so I told myself, I got a fruit platter as well, of pineapple, dragon fruit, watermelon, and strawberry. And of course, 2 of those pastries. I couldn't resist. Still feeling a little bit hungry, I ordered an Eggs Benedict from the egg station. This was delicious, although I would have liked a bit more sauce. I could have asked for it, but I was too hungry. One of the other items you can order from the station is a Vietnamese banh mi sandwich, made with various meats, pâtés, and vegetables. Delicious. The highlight though of this breakfast has to be the red velvet waffle. I think my camera actually does a fairly good job of capturing just how moist this was, and it came with a delicious vanilla sauce and whipped cream. Absolutely delicious. Having eaten far too much breakfast, I decided to head to the gym for a workout. The gym is on the 47th floor, making it one of the highest gyms in Asia. As you can see here, there is a wide variety of free weights and machines, as well as cardio that looks out over the view. The gym was very quiet during my stay, so you'd have had no trouble getting a machine. Next to the gym was the rooftop infinity pool. I get why they have to have these barriers around it, although obviously it would be a lot more impressive if they weren't there. Again, the pool was almost deserted during my stay. I think I saw one other person in it while I was working out. Very cool to have an outdoor pool like this so high. Being able to swim and take in the views below, that's a really cool way to spend a day. These machines were in use when I first came in, so I waited for them to become free before I filmed them. As you can see, in addition to the treadmills, they also had various elliptical machines. The gym had double height ceilings with floor-to-ceiling windows. Really nicely done. Here are some more of the machines that were on offer, including a lateral pull down, a chest press, and various other ones. I don't know what you call this, but you know it, you see them in gyms all the time. They had this kind of machine. On the same floor as the gym was the spa, which was very nicely decorated, although I didn't go to the spa, so I can't comment on it. In the evening, I went for a walk around the park next to the building, and as you can see here, it looks really nice lit up. Overall, I was really pleased with my stay. I found the room to be incredible and had really nice views. And not just that, the breakfast was good, the gym was good, and the service was top notch. The staff were really friendly and warm. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of like a cat. Being higher is better in my mind, and so I really liked being so high up, in the room, in the breakfast, in the gym. If you're afraid of heights, or that just doesn't do it for you, you may not get as much out of this hotel as I did. It's also one of the pricier hotels in Ho Chi Minh City, which you would expect, but you certainly get what you pay for here. The quality of everything was really high. For me, this is a solid 5 out of 5 star hotel. I really recommend it.